You know the jungle. It's a part of you. But exploring is not a game. And you don't look before you leap.
I'm okay, Boots.
Dora, 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 the explorer. Boots and super cool exploradora. Need your help, grab your backpack. Let's go.
Alright, Boots, you ready to make this jump to go get that treasure? Boots? Boots, are you okay? Alright, Boots, you wait here. You don't start jumping until you're ready. You're freaking me out. Boots! Go get help! I don't know what I was thinking from jumping so high! My leg! Hey guys, welcome back to IMAX Man 1 movie reviews. Today we're going to be going over Dora and the Lost City of Gold. So, this is what my channel has become. Okay, this movie is directed by James Bobin, and it's basically, if you've seen Dora when you were a kid, or if you have any nieces or anything, or nephews, you basically know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a live-action version of the cartoon of Dora the Explorer. I always want to say Explorer, like she's a gangster or something. I don't know. You know, when I first went to the theater, I was expecting something really bad. Like, really bad. Something probably along the lines of Avatar: The Last Airbender bad with these Nickelodeon movies. But surprisingly, I left and I rather enjoyed myself. Wow, dude. Enjoying a kid's movie. Hey, you can like kids' movies. They just need to have some good stuff in them. Yeah, I was actually really surprised when I walked out. I ended up enjoying it more than I thought I would. And one of the things that I appreciate most about this movie is that the fact that they take it not seriously. They are very self-aware of the property they're coming from and what they're using. And so they make a lot of self-aware jokes throughout the entire movie. And it makes it actually a really good time for kids or for adults. It's just, if you're there, I would say it's not that bad. For a lot of it, it's very cliche. And the plot's nothing to be proud about. The plot's not good. In fact, I'll go into it more in the spoiler section, but the plot has so many things wrong with it. I guess that's just a story element. For the most part, the humor is top notch. The humor is very great. There's some jokes that don't land, but for the most part, I found myself laughing out loud at most of the things they brought up. The story, like I said, is not great, and if you don't find the humor funny, you're going to hate the plot. And you probably hate the movie, because the movie, like I said, is not great with the plot. For a lot of it, they try to be a fish out of water movie, but they don't commit to that, and so it jumps around and it can't quite decide what type of movie it wants to be, if that makes sense. The characters were really underdeveloped. They rush their motivations, they rush their conflicts they go through, and the resolutions, like I said, they're almost non-existent to the characters. It's almost like, especially with the main one, Dora, she never grows. As the movie progresses, the plot becomes more and more silly. And, of course, it's just a kid's film, so I'm not going to be too harsh on it. But if you're going in there expecting a great plot, a great script, for the most part, you're not going to enjoy it. Okay, here's what I'll say for the last part of the spoiler-free section. If you are going to go and you have kids, I'd say go. You're going to enjoy it yourself. If you don't have kids and you just want to watch a Dora film, I'd say it's up to you. So if you don't have kids, I would say probably just wait till it comes out on video. Now, let's get into the spoiler section. Spoiler? I barely know her! Alright, in one of these videos I had to make that joke. Okay, I just want to read to you the plot through it, and I just want you to tell me how random it seems and how it comes across as feeling rushed through a lot of it. Okay, I'm just going to go off by memory from what I remember, but here's what I remember from the plot. Dora grows up in the jungle, her nephew's there with her, as you remember, Diego. He leaves, she stays, then a few years later her parents are like, oh, you're not big enough to come to this school because you try to make this jump, which you barely made, so we're not going to have you come on the adventure with us. So Dora is sad. She goes to LA. She's in LA for maybe 10 minutes. And in the 10 minutes, we're supposed to believe that she is this character that needs to have sympathy, and that she's struggling to get along with her classmates, although she never comes across as human. She just stays in this, I mean, she has a great attitude, but she doesn't come across as a sympathetic character because you don't see her struggling. You just see that her cousin is actually struggling more than she is, which is understandable, but still. Okay, that was a little tangent, but going along after that. After she gets to LA, she goes to a dance, gets made fun of at a dance, then she gets stuck in this group from the people that were making fun of her. She goes to a museum. This lady lets her down into the basement where she gets kidnapped. Her whole group gets kidnapped. They wake up, end up in Colombia or someplace in South America. Then this guy opens the hatch, lets them escape. The bad guys don't even notice this. They run through the jungle, encounter a white tribes lady who's supposed to be a native. I don't know. It was very confusing. They eventually find the city of gold. And here's where it gets really ridiculous. So it's like a very Indiana Jones inspired film. So after a second of them doing some puzzle solving down in the jungle, it reveals this little stockpile of treasure, and they're like, what's the real treasure that they cared about? And so they have this golden monkey, and so Dora puts water in the golden monkey's hand, because once they solve this puzzle, it's going to show them the real treasure behind all this supposedly fake treasure of gold, and what the Inca or whoever they are really valued. And so the door opens behind the first stockpile of treasure, and as it opens, I kid you not, it is another giant golden monkey. Like, did you guys think when you wrote the screenplay, you're like, oh, I thought it'd be something clever, something like knowledge, a lot of books, something like architecture, something like the people, maybe it would be the people farming back there, and people are like, oh, that's a cool message. But no, it's just a giant golden monkey, and they're like, this is the real treasure, even though we were trying to tell you that treasure is not the real treasure, but apparently it is. And that's just a little bit of the plot, and I think I did that too much. I don't know. To sum it up, it's a very good movie and comedy, not with characters, and it wasn't bad enough for me to leave the theater. I was entertained, but I don't think it'd be good enough to draw me into watching it a second time. Overall, I'm going to give Dora and the Lost City of Gold a 4 out of 10. Now, I know I gave Quentin Tarantino's movie a 4 out of 10 from the last one, and I'll have to do a video explaining my rating systems. But I actually kind of want to bump that one up to 5 out of 10. I think I was a bit too harsh on it, and keep Dora at 4 out of 10. Thanks, guys, for watching. As always, click down there, like, subscribe. Thanks again.